Toth, can I borrow you, buddy? Hit record whenever you're ready. If it's already recording, you're fine. All right, so working from the mount, okay? I'll show it from two different angles primarily, but he's just gonna do a mounted armbar, right? Nice and simple. Can you do my left arm, do you mind? So Toth's gonna sit over to an armbar, just normal, step over the head for me. Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful, great, boom, he's over my head. Okay, so his grips are gonna change depending on how he likes to play. He's doing a Kimura grip, which is very common, okay? If I get to this scenario, as soon as he attacks the armbar, even when he's still in the mount, I'm connecting my hands. Because I know that he has to extend my arm to break it, right? So the first thing I need to worry about is trying to keep my thumb to my chest, just baseline, okay? Next thing I need to generally worry about is where his post is. If he's neutral here, I can pick whatever I want, right? But for the sake of the drill, I want to start with a specific position. Can you post this arm for me? We're going to talk about if he does a topside head post, okay? If he does this, it's going to be really hard for me to go this way because he's going to stop himself from moving, right? So what I want to try to do is get him on his back by using a pendulum to push him into his weak side, because in order to keep himself from falling, he'd have to let go of the armbar to let me escape or fall. Most people are just going to fall, okay? It'll keep the connection. So I want to talk about the hands first. We can play here, here, we got short grips up to the elbows. My personal preference is I'm immediately here and I'm trying to slip a figure four grip to put this hand in the back of his knee, right? Like I'm rear naked choking his forearm here. Okay, this adds a secondary layer of reinforcement, so if he's really pulling hard, it's difficult for him to get it free. It's gonna hurt, it's not gonna feel good, but he's not gonna break it, right? Now, what I wanna think about from here is getting him onto his back. Slide that way just a little bit for me. So, I'm here, okay? Knees together, we'll do like a mermaid tail, right? This is not what I want. My legs aren't heavy enough when I swing them this way. Legs together. I swing in, I swing away. I swing back in, and then I'm gonna bring my knees up and under his hips and push with my hand at the same time, okay? You're gonna land. Turning my hips over. Now from here, I tuck my toes and I run at him to stack him. Everybody still with me here? Off of this, let's turn this way just a little bit. A couple simple ways to escape, but the main thing is I'm getting my kickstand always, right? I don't want him to be able to push his legs away. If he can push his hips down, he can take me back over. Okay, so I'm here, floating his hips. I want to try to drive his knee into his face. In no-gi, we can do, I call it shaking the baby, okay, or piston or whatever. I'm gonna let go of my own bicep and start shaking, shaking, shaking to slip my elbow. Okay, sometimes when I get here, my lock is so good that I can't clear my own elbow without letting go and threatening the armbar. So what I'm gonna do instead is use my back knee to push his knee down. So I'm gonna run my pressure in laterally, and I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna grab with my foot. So I'm going to a knee-elbow connection, and I'm just gonna push, let go, and slip. Off of this I can turn, start to run my pressure. Okay? Do this again. This. So, questions first. Everybody good on this so far? Is it making sense? Yeah? It's pendulum and momentum. So on the head side, we're gonna push him onto his back, right? After this, we'll talk about what to do if he switches to the other post. Okay? Something I really want to reiterate with you is I don't want to just roll over. I need to push his leg away from me to get his hips over his head. Okay? Second thing I want to talk about. If my ear is above his knee or at his calf, he cannot armbar me without elevating his hips. Okay? What I mean by that is I'm disconnecting the connection he has to my neck with my hand and pushing it. There's no more armbar. I just have to be very cautious that if I try to disconnect, he's going to snap it back in. Good on that? Any questions? Yeah? All right, we're going to do it one more time so you guys can see. Yeah, let's go here. This is fine. Just go to the armbar. So he's here. Okay, he's got his armbar, right? I'm swinging here, right? Let's actually turn all the way around for me so you can see the other angle. So I'm here, okay? I immediately get my hands together, no matter what, okay? And I try to pull them to my chest. S grip, gable grip, whatever. I like to go gable grip so I can slide to my bicep and put my hand behind his knee, kind of in this space right here. Okay, he's posted on my head side, so I'll look, I see his post over there. I'll even swing my leg over here sometimes if I can't see to see if I feel his arm. right? Kind of gauge it. It's not there, okay? Boom. I come up and in, I push the knee, I take him over, and I'm here, okay? I'm gonna walk my hips down so I can get my other knee under as I drive my weight up to block. Okay, from here, if you're able to get the hand free, we can just slip it, but it's generally pretty hard because I have counter force here. So what I'm gonna do is, using my pressure, I'm gonna walk in front of the back of his knee here with my knee. Now that I have this, I can slip and turn to work to the inside, maybe a high passing scenario. Questions on that? Good? Ready? 1, 2. Let's go, guys. What I want to talk about now is the hip side post. Okay, so that was the head side post. This is kind of my default to the head side post for hopefully obvious reasons, right? He has no post to keep him from falling over on the backside. So he's head side post. I can't go towards the head. Makes sense, right? We're going to do the opposite. So he's going to have hip side post. He's posting towards my hips. And instead of going to like a pendulum or like a more of a motion-based movement, it's going to be climbing his leg and pinning it. Okay, so this is almost kind of like a pressure pass or like a pressure escape, I guess. So we'll go from the head side, and then I'll show you the foot side as well. I'm here, okay? He's got his arm bar. I'm still playing my figure 4. We're still doing this. There's no reason not to control this here. I'm gonna have this hand underneath, and I'm trying to keep tension here, but it's more so like me moving the blade of my hand into the back of his knee and then slightly up. Okay, it's very subtle, and then I'm always clamping here, right? You should be able to feel his hamstring on like the palm of your hand. I know it's all super detailed, but this is like what I look for when I build these grips. My figure 4, I try to get as far behind my tricep as possible, and I pinch my elbows together, okay? From here, he's on a hip side post. So I talked earlier where like maybe he's crushing here, I can't look at him, where I'll swing his leg over to feel, and I feel his arm right here, okay? So I feel that bump. A lot of the time I can just look and see, right? But I can't see the hip side. So I generally swing this leg out, feel the bump, okay, I know he's over there. So I'm gonna go towards my head. What I'm gonna do here is comb my hair with his leg. I'm not trying to do this and like just push his hand straight up. I'm gonna point this elbow to the ceiling and bridge the arm over my head, okay? So I'm here, here, and I'm bridging not up in this traditional sense, but up towards my head to get this off, okay? When I do this, I wanna keep the elbow flared, and I wanna pin this with my head as soon as possible by walking up. And I wanna lay on this, okay? Tote's long, so there's a lot of leverage here. I might have to like really drive in to get this down, but I'm just trying to get my head clear. As soon as I get my head clear, I try to bend my elbow to his far side hip and get an inside frame, okay? The reason I do this is because if I keep the arm here and I don't get the inside frame and I try to turn or whatever, he can slip the knee in or go back over my head and trap me, or triangle me like immediately. If I'm not tracking this and he just throws his leg over my arm, I'm just in a triangle. Okay, so we frame inside immediately. My personal preference is to go C-grip to the knee or C-grip to the ankle. Okay, I'm not trying to dive under, you'll get triangled, I'm here, a wedge. This hand goes down to like the inside of my other thigh. My goal here is to now turn and look at him without alleviating head pressure. I'm trying to be nice, but my idea here is to like pin this down, hide my arm and get a C-grip. I'm gonna turn and look at him to suck my elbow to the floor, okay? From here, I can start to level up to move this, or we're just shoving and getting clear. Whichever you like. We have a really good entry to Ashi from here that I'll show at the end. But again, the primary idea here is don't be in the armbar anymore. Is that making sense to everybody? Yeah? Let's do it on the other side. Just come over here for me. So, again, just so you guys can see from a different angle, I've got my figure 4 here. He's got a bite. He's under good control. I feel here. I'm like, okay, oh, boom, there's his arm. Okay, I felt it. So I know I have to go over the top of my head. So I'm gonna pinch my elbows in, I'm flaring my elbow to the ceiling and kind of wrapping the top of my hand over my head. And then I'm gonna push my hand with my head and get here. I can separate my hands when I get here because he doesn't have a cross face on my head. Okay? So I can go here and back. So I'm kind of doing this to get here. I bend my elbow. The reason I bend my elbow is it's a lot harder to slip a straight arm than a bent arm. Okay? I like to grab the inside of my thigh. From here, a couple of options, but my main go-to is going to be to turn hard and suck my elbow to the floor. We're in an awkward spot here, right? Where I'm kind of like pushing him over, his legs over my head, my elbow's free, it's a little weird. We have a couple of options here. First option for me personally is just go double under here. I'm gonna clear this over and start to wrestle my way up, okay? Secondary way is maybe he bends his knee a little bit, maybe there's a little bit of space here. I'm gonna push this and try to retract my own shin inside. Okay, I have this counter force here, so now I can slip and start fighting into entanglements. We can come over. You've got outside ashi entries, things of that nature. The idea here is I'm not super worried about your finishing point on the entanglements. Play what you like. I just want you to not be in an armbar anymore. We're cycles of defense into attack, right? All the really good people talk about this. All the high-level guys, is Gordon Ryan, Marcelo, any of these guys. Escaping's not enough, especially at the higher levels, even in like within local gyms, like getting to purple, brown, black. You have to escape into a submission or escape into a reversal. Okay, that's just all we're really looking for right now. Any questions on any of this? Is this making sense to everybody? I want to do one last note. If they use a Kimura grip, pick which one you want to do because they don't have a post on the floor. Does that make sense? Yeah? Questions on that? We all good? Ready? 1, 2. Thanks, guys. Let's do a few more drilling rounds and then we'll get some lives.